Hi everyone, this is Roscoe and welcome to my review of the Hot Toys Quarter Scale, The Dark Knight Rises Batman. Alright, we've got plenty to look at, so let's get straight into it. Okay, so for those of you who are familiar with the Hot Toys Quarter Scale endoskeleton, you can see this is the same style packaging as that figure, and that one was the Quarter Scale 02, this is the Quarter Scale 01, even though this has been released second, it's obviously taken a bit longer to get this out. The top, Dark Knight Rises Batman, Dark Knight Rises there. This is the Sideshow edition, or Sideshow exclusive, which I had on pre-order. I was quite lucky to get this. I thought it'd be hanging around for a while to order, but it sold out. Or sold out through Sideshow anyway. So I went on the wait list, and a couple of weeks later they found one for me, so I was quite lucky. Right, you have this sort of cutout of the Batcowl, or Batman there. Just like with the quarter scale endoskeleton, you had the endo skull on the front. Overall, out of all Hot Toys figure packaging, the quarter scale stuff is by far my favourite. Even prefer them over the DX boxes. They're just really strong, really well made, there's a lot to them. They just look really good. We've got the quarter scale, almost like a badge look there. That was on the quarter scale 2 as well. Got this sort of subtle texture all over it. Dotting, you can actually feel the texture on that. On the back you have your warnings and stuff like that, so there's nothing much to see there. On the side you have this piece, which it's quite dark there. You take that off, slide the inside out, and then you have your foam layers which hold the figure. You take that out, you have a clamshell case with all the accessories, and then beneath that you have the cape. So there's quite a lot to package and protect this figure, so overall excellent packaging. Alright, accessories. We've been very sport with accessories. Just like with the endoskeleton, Hot Toys seem to have combined accessories from a couple of films. So we've got stuff from the first and second. And with this we've got stuff from the Dark Knight film and the Dark Knight Rises film together. So, a quick look at all the stuff he comes with there. He's got heaps. Right, we'll start with the neck collar. So if you have him displayed as Bruce Wayne, you'll need that to cover up most of the neck. Here's the Bruce Wayne sculpt. I think looks excellent. Now, obviously being quarter scale, they can add more detail. The eyes look really nice. A little bit of a shine to it, which is a little bit different to the 1/6 scale stuff. Doesn't usually have that. Probably a different way of applying the paint. Got all the shadow, or the 5 o'clock shadow sort of look there, just sort of starting to come through. I'd say this is the best Bale sculpt we've got from Hot Toys, easily. The hair, we've got different browns. Looks really well done. Even got his little mole there in the top of the nose. So overall that's an excellent sculpt. It's just a shame, you know, I'd love to use that. I might change him around every now and then. I'd love to use that sculpt, but it's just hard to take it away from the Batman look. Here we have the sonar sculpt, which we see in the second film, not in the Dark Knight Rises. Now, all these cowls are very heavy, especially this one. It's got the battery part in it. So you want to switch that on. There you go. The LEDs in it are very bright. Excellent sculpt, that. So you want to turn it off now. There we go. And because this was the exclusive, it comes with the spare Batcowl here. Now that on its own is quite heavy. and large. Looks really cool. Now that's great if you want to display him with the Bruce Wayne head sculpt. You get him to hold that while he's just taking it off. So that was a must accessory for me. We get 4 face plates all up. Obviously one's on the figure now. Got that one there on the Sona sculpt. Now the teeth have been inserted separately. I'm not sure if they're glued in, but they are a separate piece under that face plate. You get the closed one, and we get one that's sort of quite strange, but they all look very lifelike, the tones they've used. Alright, so we get a sticky bomb that goes along with the sticky bomb gun, which you have to undo and connect together. We get 6 spare hand sculpts, so once you've decided which ones you're going to use, you have 6 remaining. They're quite big. A lot of detail to them, and they're quite easy to get on and off, which is really good. So you don't have to struggle getting new hand sculpts on, which can, undo your pose and stuff like that. So if you just want to change your hand over, sometimes it's going to be very annoying. It's very difficult because you end up bending your figure all out of place and you have to fix it up again. But these are quite easy. Get the grapnel gun. That has movement. You can sort of push this back and then it sort of automatically flips forward. Have the 2 slots there for the actual 2 little grapnel pieces there. You've got the holder for the gun. It can go on his belt. All these little attachments. So you've got 5 there, or 6 including this one. So you have to slide them over the belt before you put them on, or put the belt on. So you've got plenty to choose from there. You get 3 batarangs. Now they're metal. That's really good. We get the backpack, so we can have him like he was in the second film without the cape. So you can have that flying ability mode. We get a quite comprehensive guide as to how to change things around and what to do, what not to do. So that's really nice. We also get spare hand pegs, and we get this little tool to push the face plates out of the cowls, and the other section is the tweezers to operate the eyes. And this doesn't have purrs, it has individual eyeball rolling systems, so you have to adjust them individually, which I like a lot better. Less chance of it breaking. That's quite good. Now there's plenty more accessories still, which I'll have on the figure. We get the scarecrow mask. Now I thought this would be fabric, but it's actually hard plastic and painted. So that was a bit of a surprise. So yeah, quite hard. I'll just have it resting on the ground. We get this little shrapnel or debris piece to put on the base, so that resting there. The Joker mask. Looks a lot like the Entebbe one. We've got the Joker. It's a lot firmer though, it's not as rubbery. Have this little section at the top so it can hang on the edge there. I'm assuming that's why they did that. And we get the Bane mask, which I got him holding here. And that's sort of semi-firm. It's pliable a little bit, but it's sort of solid plastic. That's painted really nicely as well. Alright, we get his utility belt, which has a foam backing to stop it from scratching. Now that attaches just like the DX12 on the back, 3 little pegs. Get the EMP gun, which is absolutely huge. There's a section here to open up to take the little tab out from the batteries, so that's where you undo it, and there's a little button on the bottom and that turns the LED to operate the front lights. Also we get the cape. And the cape goes in just like the DX12. Now obviously being a quarter scale, it is a little bit more difficult to get it in. You have to push the tabs in forward and then bend the other tab back flat, and that can take some time. Now the cape, I am a little bit sort of annoyed with still. The material is a lot nicer. It's like a suede, like a fake suede material. It feels really nice, almost feels like the End of a Joker suit, but it just doesn't hold positions really well. It's very hard to get it to stay. When you do, you move the figure, it all comes undone again. Really wish they put some wire in it, or just make the material a lot heavier, just to be able to hold poses. So it can be very frustrating. I think I covered the accessories there, guys. Also, you get this piece here. That's separate from the base. And it has to slide in 2 sections. Not sure if we can have a look, but try. Yeah, it slots in 2 sections. I know this one was very hard to get in. Almost felt like the Superman Fortress base. So I had to heat that up with a hairdryer and then slot that section in there. But the base is excellent. Looks really nice. Just take that off for a minute. All the texturing, all little pebbles and dirt, rocks. It's a really nice looking base. Get the Batman nameplate there, which just classes it up a lot. And he holds a pose on this base really easily. Even with the foot pointed here, how I have it posed, he just seems to grab the base nicely. Now also you get the crotch stand. Now one thing I was disappointed about is the crotch stand sort of angles right out. So what that does, it puts unnecessary pressure on the inside of the legs, and I was finding after about a minute of having him posed, it was leaving marks. The marks went away after I removed it, but in the long term, you know, I don't trust what it will do to the suit, if it will tear the fabric or it'll put a big crease in the rubber. So I've taken it off completely. I've just left that stand there, but the wire piece is gone. I tried taping it closed, but it still wasn't happy at how it was holding the figure. So I've taken it off, and he's standing very easily on this stand. So I don't see the need to use it or risk damaging this piece. Right, here you have the cowl, the normal one. Love how we got the dark eyes, all the darkness around the eyes. I chose this faceplate, the more angry looking one, showing a bit more emotion. The skin tones are really nice, the teeth look excellent. Looks very realistic. You can definitely tell it's Christian Bale in the suit. Now, just like the DX12, these are magnetised, so you can easily just sort of take it off. You can adjust the neck post to where you want, up and down, left and right. Once you've got that angled, I'm having a look towards me with his body facing the other way, so I've had to turn this right around so I can put this on and have it angled down this way. The suit looks excellent. I wasn't a huge fan of the DX12 suit. I've always been a fan of the DX2. Don't know why. I think it was more of the grey areas are more prominent on the DX2, and this seems to have the best of both worlds. Get the sort of stuck on sort of pieces onto the suit, onto the fabric, but it has the grey look. Now the grey look has sort of like a mesh patterning, but it's covered with a clear film. So there's no chance of rubbing the grey off like the DX2. I know when people had oily abs, they would try rubbing this and they end up rubbing the mesh off. So there's no chance of this ever having oil issue or people needing to rub this, which wouldn't hurt it anyway. Now I'm not sure if he has much of an ab crunch compared to the DX12. Haven't tried forcing it too much. I think he can close his gap a little bit more, but I'm happy with it how it is. And I'm not going to try and force it if it's not the case. Everything on this piece just looks way more accurate to me. I'm not a huge analyst of the Batman suit, I'll leave that to Curtis and Dean Knight and Vom Seb for that. If it was Predator, it'd be right up my alley. I'd be able to nitpick at every single millimetre, things that were wrong, but as far as Batman goes, looks pretty good to me. Excellent looking figure, really stands out, and I'm way more happy with it in person than what I thought I'd be. Something I was always excited for. Don't have too many quarter scale stuff in the collection because they are quite big, but this is just the Batman figure to get, in my opinion. And the gauntlets look awesome. These parts don't stick out like the DX12, they sort of curve up a bit and they're softer, so no chance of snapping them off. And what I like about the joints on this is they click. So in the hips or legs, when you push them forward, they sort of pop into individual places, so they hold really well, which is probably why he stands very well. Same with the arms, they click really nicely. Got nice movement in the ankles. Now they have the old style boot, which is all one piece. So they don't have the cut off part and then an extra shin part. So it looks a bit more natural. And they look really shiny, and yeah, everything about this is just awesome. As I said, everything's great. The only two complaints really is the cape and the stand for me. But they're easy to fix if you get a custom cape and simply don't use the stand. Alright, so I won't compare it with the DX12. I'm sure everyone knows how big the quarter scale stuff is. But I will get the Enterbay Joker, sort of pose him next to it. Right, there's our Enterbay Joker. Now, I know this guy is down off the turntable, but when you put them side by side on the same level, the Joker in that pose is pretty much the same height. So they go together really well. Now if I was to angle the head up higher, he'd probably be a little bit taller, which is okay because Heath Ledger was just a little bit taller than Christian Bale. So overall, as far as two different companies and both being quarter scales, I'm quite happy how they go together. The Joker doesn't look massively tall, like I've heard the Batsuit Begins Enterbay is a lot taller than this new Hot Toys one. So I think these two go together quite well. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this review. I'll finish up here. If you haven't got this guy yet, I suggest you go do it soon. I think this guy's been all of a sudden become very popular. And I think he's going to sell it very quick, and prices are going to soar on him because he's just the definitive Batman to get. And you know, he's a standout. So if you haven't got him, get him quick. Alright, thanks guys. Hope you enjoyed the review. If you have any questions, just leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks guys. Bye for now.